how do you describe that?
We're constantly in contact with our advertisers, whether it's in print or online. You have to communicate with them, and if there's something out there that's not working for them, if they're getting 0 click-throughs or far less click-throughs than anyone else, we're not afraid to go out and tell that advertiser that. We're actively telling them, this isn't working, we need to switch it up, do something different. Because if you're afraid and just leave it set, then it will go away. Yeah.
And I've worked with Steve for years, and he and April just did an absolutely outstanding job this year on getting appointments. I mean, we had so many appointments that we were running to keep up with them. And then this was my first year working with April, and she did a fantastic job. And I had told her, I said, the Blitz week itself may seem absolutely crazy, but honestly, it's more work after the Blitz, and that I would probably bother them to the point of distraction, because calling to say, look, now that we've made these calls and we're fresh in their mind, anybody we haven't sold on the spot, we have a rapidly approaching expiration date to where they're either in the wind or they're going to buy. And so we communicated various times every day, several times a day for several weeks following the Blitz to hit those numbers.
Excuse me, Christy, David. This is Mark from the Daily Iberian in New Iberia, Louisiana. I have a question. When I'm looking at the Blitz successes right here, I see four of the locations are in Arizona, and one of them's in South Dakota. My question is, do we have any stats as far as areas that are more computer savvy than other areas? Say, like, I don't want to say we're dumb local yokels over here in Louisiana, but areas are more computer savvy than others and more up to date in that area than others. And like South Dakota, a place where they have so much more snow, and I'm just thinking they're in their homes more than in Louisiana, where we have warmer climates and we're out of the house more, or stuff like that. Is there any stats saying that there's certain areas that are better? I know we do have a good following on our local website as far as the stats goes, people visiting and page views, but I just want to know if there's any areas better than others.
Christy, there are definitely areas of the country that are more technologically advanced, meaning they have more availability to, high speeds and things like that. But that really has started to fade away over the last 3 to 5 years, because almost everywhere now has access. And I mean the most rural, Hoboken, backwoods type places have access to high-speed online, whether it be via a line, cable, DSL, or satellite. I visited you all in 2009, I believe, and in 2008 as well. And your area, although rural, I mean, you are not but a stone's throw away from a large metro area, the whole Pontchartrain area. And so all the folks that I met with the last time I was there, I didn't really find any difference in their level of understanding versus, somewhere else. Now, we did meet with one gentleman who spoke Creole, and I have no idea what he said during the meeting, but he bought.
Louisiana's not at a disadvantage, I guess what I'm asking.
No, very much not. I found that a lot of times in the smaller areas, because they are smaller, people stay a lot more connected via the internet, and because your newspapers are the only game in town, you guys are it for them.
I don't mean to interrupt. This is Jared up in Alaska. What you just said, it hit it on the head for me. That's what's been working for me, what does work anyways, is that the small town that's all they have for me.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and as long as, like I said, you guys all have a viable product, you guys know it's even with our redesigns, it's not going to please all the people all the time, but we're moving along with the times just like everybody else. We're keeping a good eye on it, seeing what's working for us on the editorial side, what is working for us on the ad side, and trying to make a good mix. But you guys are in such a prime position, because even if you had, one other local competition, you guys are typically it in that town. So as long as you guys advertise your own product well enough, if you build it, they will come. They really will. Whether, rural or metro, the rural areas have a huge leg up because you don't have a lot of competition. You don't have a lot of market fragmentation. You don't have a lot of the the minuses that are facing a lot of the large metros, you guys are actually in the #1 position to take advantage of online revenue.
Mark, thanks for the question. Christy, let's go back to the presentation, but as we have other questions, just speak up.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go over, as you all know, we've got some new ad options this year, so this is just a quick screenshot of the Capital Journal to show you guys, sort of the basic layout that a lot of you have adopted. We're doing the 3 ad sizes. They're all International Ad Bureau standard sizes, which in and of itself is great. The nice thing about it is if you all are meeting with companies, for example, State Farm, insurance, folks that have compliance, banks, pretty much everybody is getting pre-approved, pre-built ads that are IAB standard. And the reason that these 3 sizes have become standard is because they have sort of risen to the top as the ads that have been the most effective as far as click-throughs, relevance, and the end result being good. So that's why we have adopted these 3 ads as sort of our meat and potatoes of what we're doing.
Can I jump in for just a second? This is Pete Bonnke.
Sure.
Mr. Vermont, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I just wanted to reiterate to everyone that Impact Engine is going to be our primary tool for creating these 3 standard sizes, and you do get unlimited usage for these 3 standard sizes at no extra cost. And I'll just leave it at that.
Quite a bit on Impact Engine coming up, so I'll go over that with them too, but that's awesome. Are you done, Pete?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just pausing. So as you guys know, we've also got what you guys and Impact Engine are actually considering some exotic ads as well. So one is the page peel. So you can see here on the slide, we've got it where it's up in the corner, and then when somebody peels it down, these, of course, are a direct link. They can be animated and have movement. They do take more user interaction than a standard ad. So I always like to, again, when you're going out and selling them, although they have more bells and whistles and they're cool and whatnot, you're going to have to manage expectations a little with them. Now, for example, like Pam in Green Valley, she's got an Ace Hardware ad that at the time had the highest click-throughs of anything on their site, which is absolutely fantastic. The norm is that a lot of times, because they do take more user interaction, depending on how interactive or catchy the ad is, they can sometimes get less. So a lot of times what I try to do when I'm selling a peel, if I can, is bundle it with something else. So, for example, sell them a skyscraper and a page peel at the same time. So we're guaranteed that when people are looking at these pages, they are going to see those skyscrapers, whether they want to. We're going to get the value of those impressions. Then they could also have the page peel up in the corner for that little extra pop, which, yes, takes user interaction, but it's also going to get noticed. I know that will price, that could be price prohibitive to some people, but if we package it right, that's going to give a lot of the advertisers the most bang for the buck that they can get.
Christy, excuse me, it's Mark again, Daily Iberian. I'm looking at this page right here, and we talked about three selling spots: the banner, the skyscraper, and the inbox ad. And I'm looking at a whole bunch of stuff. What am I looking at?
Well, with the capital,
more ad-based selling, or are we still going with the 3 basics?
No, they still go with the 3 basics, but what you're seeing on some of them, they have some special sections. So you've got the red box, that little half skyscraper, that's, if I'm not mistaken, a photo gallery. The behind government lines is a specialty column that they've got because that is the state capitol. They've got a coupon section, things like that. Those are actually all in-house ads. Those are not advertising spaces. Those are promoting their sections within the online edition. All right, so our next one, some of you, most of the papers that I have gone to have launched our pencil ads. So you can see it in the first slide. It's right here, it's skinny, and then when you mouse over it, of course, it expands. Upon expansion, or when it's contracted, it can be static. It can have animation. When you actually look at this Punta Dakota ad, when you expand it, the photos in the frame actually fade in and out like a slideshow to give you the whole feel of the resort. Similar to the peel, you mouse off of it, it goes back up into its stationary position.
I wanted to say, Christy, this is April and Pierce, and we sold a local Hallmark store on the pencil ad while you were here, Card and Candy, which has a very small budget. But she fell in love with the pencil ad.